Have we seen The Darkest Hour? Have we seen Darkest
Oh
Hour
yeah,
yet?
yeah. I saw that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was a good Churchill movie. I actually liked it a lot. Have we all seen it or?
Yeah, I've seen it. I watched it. I was prepared for something, rather stodgy, and that's kind of what I got basically. And so the disappointment level wasn't high. Of course, I like Gary Oldman in it, but I don't think that he disappears in the role. Really, I mean, you know that it's Gary Oldman always underneath all that stuff, and
right. No,
and let's be honest, he's a thin guy, wiry thin, so he's wearing a fat suit that's not entirely convincing. At this time, he's also playing the 10 years older than he really is. The Winston Churchill that he's playing is around 68, 66, 67.
Right.
And he's 58, 59. And I feel like they didn't really he didn't really get the body movements down correctly, or just the body language in general. There's just a sort of sense of him being a jaunty thin guy under all that stuff. I mean, he's able to bound up 2 flights of stairs with the greatest of ease, and he charges down hallways and stuff, and he seems to be very fit. And that's not what Winston Churchill was at all. So
no. He's eating a lot of Dundee fruit cakes, So I mean, when you're having a Dundee fruit cake, for breakfast, and
and a fifth of scotch. But so to me, this struck me as the kind of movie that I guess people who maybe didn't like Dunkirk for its lack of human connection, I guess, this is kind of more of what they wanted, I guess, is more scenes of the planning of the evacuation and everything like that, and the connection that he foments between his typist, who's sort of the young person surrogate in the movie, played by Lily James, and I didn't really connect with very much of that really, but as a kind of historical movie, I sort of enjoyed it, like on kind of a passive way, I guess. I didn't love it. In fact, the thing I loved most about it was the Dario Marianelli score, which I thought was brilliant. Great.
His scores for Joe Wright's movies are always really good.
Yeah, and this one's heavily piano based and quite good. Joe Wright's visual style. He loves the overhead shots. I mean,
yes, he does, especially when he's in the plane flying over and surveying everything. Yeah, he really, I think almost gets carried away with that that part of the movie.
There were a couple of them though that were really dazzling. There was one that starts off as a bombing raid, and as the camera pans over, we find ourselves very close up on a young boy's obviously lifeless face.
Right.
And I thought that was very impressive. Some of them are very, very good, but it seems like a little bit of overkill in it, and I'm not quite sure what it means. The overhead shot, all the preponderance of them.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel somewhat indifferent to it, really, because
I get what you're saying. I really do, because I think I like it more than you, but I feel indifferent only because I feel like this is the third thing I've watched in a year that is about, like I said, we'll go with season 1 of the series The Crown on Netflix, which covers this, is part of it. And then we have the Christopher Nolan movie Dunkirk, and now we have this. I'm not saying it's overkill in that sense, because I believe, especially in light of current events, you cannot have too much of this kind of movie as a reminder of how things can go south and everything. But I understand what you mean about indifferent. I think I love Joe Wright. I think I've seen everything by him, and I for the most part really do admire his filmmaking. And I like Gary Oldman. I think Gary Oldman's very good in this. I think the performance, though, I think is actually very good as Janet McTeer as his wife Clementine. I thought that was actually a very good performance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not getting the attention it deserves. And I also thought, is that Ben Mendelsohn? You'll have to forgive me. I don't remember. Is that Ben Mendelsohn as the
king?
The king. He was excellent.
Yeah.
I thought the scene where he comes to visit him in the end and basically give him I'm with. It's not even I have a problem with. Is the scene in the underground.
Yeah, that was
really
cornball.
Happen?
No.
Did that happen? I mean, because that to me just seemed like a really too movie-like moment, just too, almost like a Frank Capra kind of moment, almost.
It was. You're absolutely right about that. That scene seems to garner the ire of many people, and it just doesn't feel real. And so that's never a good thing for a movie of this type. Just it takes you out of it.
See, that's my problem. I was really into it, and I like the movie. Here's the thing: I like the movie. I know it's Oscar bait and that sort of thing, but there's just something off about it. There's something that makes me not love it.
So is Winston Churchill is that the rite of passage now for seasoned British actors? Is it like the new King Lear?
Well, let's hope not. I mean, because it is seeming like that with so many people having played him in the past 10 years.
Albert
Finney.
Finney.
We've gone through the list, but Finney and Lithgow and Gambon and Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson was very. Those are very good though. Those are the ones made for HBO. Those I thought were very. I actually like those. I think better than this.
Yes, I did too. The Gathering Storm and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I and it's funny, the Gathering Storm is one that really lets us get to know Winston Churchill quite well, and I didn't feel this movie touched on him personally, like in terms of his depression. I guess it never makes any mention of his depression really. I guess it kind of visually displays his depression in that Joe Wright makes a habit of showing him boxed in a lot of places. He's a big personality, boxed in the small places, bunkers and little rooms, and literally boxed in like in the frame.
Let's not forget Young Winston. Let's not forget that movie, please. I
haven't seen that since I was a kid, so it's hard for me to remember it.
Very popular with my older brother Saul. He loves that movie. So
let's not forget Dunstan Checks In. That's
an awesome movie, man.